All right. If you recall, the confidence interval formula is point estimate plus or minus confidence coefficient times standard error. The main difference now is we use T star instead of Z star because we're using a T distribution. Also of note, the confidence coefficient depends on the level of confidence and the degrees of freedom. So it's a little more complicated than the normal coefficients we used. If you recall, previously we used 90% was 1.64. For 95% we used 1.96. For 99% we used 2.58. However, for the T distribution, these numbers change depending on the sample size. So not every calculator can compute this coefficient, so instead I'll have you use a T distribution handout. You can find it among other places, but you can find it in the back of that inference guide that you should have received in your messages a while ago. So the way you read this is you look for the correct confidence level. So 80%, 90%, 95%, 98%, 99%. Pick your confidence level and then scroll down to the correct degrees of freedom. So 95% was this third column, 20 degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom for 95% is 2.09. Okay. Here's another example. We look at, say you want to find the confidence coefficient that goes with 90% confidence and 12 degrees of freedom. So again, you look at the column that says 90%, you find 12 degrees of freedom, and we get 1.78. All right, so let's see if we can find the confidence coefficients for these various conditions. 95% confident, not 95% confidence, 30 degrees of freedom. So 95% is this row right here, this column. 30 degrees of freedom is at the bottom of that page. So right here at 2.04. So for 95% confidence, 30 degrees of freedom, I use 2.04. If I want to be 99% confident with 17 degrees of freedom, again, go to 99% confident, so this last column, 17 degrees of freedom would be right here, so 2.90. All right, 90% confidence with 96 degrees of freedom. Well, we'll need to go to the next page. 90% confident with 96 degrees of freedom. In this case here, you notice you don't have 96, but you notice for 90 degrees of freedom is 1.66. 100 degrees of freedom is 1.66. 96 degrees of freedom will be in between those two. So I'll use 1.66.